Prismatic Evolutions release week is upon us, and how you know is you start to see the chase cards being sold on eBay. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to potentially get some product. We'll touch again on the pull rates. We have some more information on pull rates, kind of backing up some of that. But I wanted to start with the Umbreon because we're seeing sales on eBay. And there's something consistent with all of these. See if you guys can pick out. But 2,400 last sold as of this morning. Then we have 217, 2,500. Now this was the big one, the first one that came up, and it sold right here. 18,000. Now we had a similar situation with the Surging Sparks Pikachu. It ended up being shill bids, right? So they weren't real. So I would expect that this is that same thing. This one doesn't even ship till February. So I don't think that's the case with this. This seems sus to me. Then there was another one that ended after this one at 1,700. So we'll touch on, we'll compare that to the Moonbreon in a second as well. If you want to pick one up for bids, this is currently where we're at though. We got 1,200, 1,000. These end in 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. You got 18 hours. Now, something that you guys are probably picking up on is all of these listings don't have actual photos, with the exception of these two right here, potentially. This one looks better than this. I don't know if these were screenshotted from something else. I'm not saying, anything, but all these other ones are just stock photos. So do keep in mind with that seems a little sus, that these cards are not in hand. So keep that in mind. Also, we have some of the bigger creators like PokeRev and Cool Trainer Ryan opening up the product.
And the pull rates
you can see in this video,
exactly what I expected. They look kind of abysmal.
I think we are potentially going to see the Moonbreon get a run for its money.
You might not see a single evolution in 1,000 booster packs.
That's 1 out of 1,920 packs for a specific special illustration rare.
The tragic tale of Prismatic Evolution.
So, PokeRev opens a lot of product in this 45-minute video. Feel free to check it out. Pull rates are kind of, once again, this is a smaller sample size, right? But it is a little bit confirmed that that's where we're at for that. So, and we'll dive into the pull rates a little bit more later in the video. But it's not just that Whatnot streamer that we're seeing. We are seeing some confirmation from other places as well. And so we're getting more data on pull rates. But that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is PokeNotify. Now, PokeNotify is a notification Discord server where you can get notifications on restocks of product from like everywhere. Pokemon Center, Walmart's, Targets, GameStops, everywhere, right? They have a lot of good reviews, good feedback. You can go in, there's a free trial, okay? You don't have to risk anything. It is $7.99 a month. There's a discount code. It'll be in the description. You can get a free trial. Check it out for yourself. But there's lots of people, if you don't believe me, take their word for it. But it's a great little service. You can ping, like I said, you get live notifications on TCG drops and restocks for 100 plus websites globally. Instant notifications. So with it being Prismatic Evolutions release week, this might be very helpful for you guys to be able to, get a notification on your phone and maybe get some more product. I saw that even just this morning, there were some Prismatic binder collections that just dropped, right? They have a buy, sell, trade community. So it's a whole little Discord setup, right? And it can just be a tool in your tool bag to help combat, the bots and the scalpers. It's a good way to, give yourself a little bit of leg ups, make the competition a bit more even. So it is $7.99 a month for the paid service. But yeah, there's a discount code in the description, and you do get a free trial, 3-day free trial. So you can just cancel if you don't like it. So yeah, that is the sponsor of today's video, PokeNotify. It does seem like in the current world that we're in, that this service really can give you a leg up. Now, back to the pull rates. We'll talk Cool Trainer Ryan here. He also opened a bunch of product. You can go watch his 21-minute video.
Today we find out if Prismatic Evolutions holds up to the hype. I was able to get 3 ETBs early.
He talks a little bit about pull rates, just a little.
Necessary. We do have them, baby. The time has finally come. It's finally here. Will it meet the hype? Pull rates seem to be bad. Seem to be brutal. But we're opening 2 ETBs, a third if necessary. But all pulls will go to one lucky winner. All you have to do is
We got Cool Trainer Ryan, PokeRev, right? Their opening product. Once again, feel free to watch the whole video if you want to double check me. It didn't go very well. He didn't get, memory serves, he didn't get a single SIR, albeit he didn't open as much product as PokeRev. Now, it's not even just Prismatic that's popping off right now, and you could see in that PokeRev clip where I was saying that, you know, the new Umbreon is going to give the Moonbreon a run for its money. Well, the Moonbreon just took another leg up. We're seeing most recent sales at 1,600 on TCG Player, 47% growth in the past 3 months. 3 months ago, it was 1,000. It shot up to 1,400, and now we're seeing 1,600 for a raw copy. And that is backed up by the lowest listed. Lowest listed right here is 1,600 on TCG. After that, it's a few more sales, and we go to 2K raw. There's only 15 copies available on the market right now for the Moonbreon. And I do think that with this strength of this crazy market, this is going to continue to run. Prismatic's going to continue to run for a while until we slow down. It's just absolutely insane. I mean, you can look at the growth on the 1-year chart of the Moonbreon. 500 a year ago. And then it shot up to 1,000 and came back down. An amazing buying point here in the 800s. And now we're obviously double that price on the Moonbreon. Now, PSA 10 prices. What are PSA 10 prices doing for the Moonbreon as well? Well, we're at 3K. $3,000 for a PSA 10 that has a pop report of well over 13,000 in a PSA 10. For this card, pop report doesn't matter. But 2950, 2950, 2925, 3K, 3100, so above 3K here even. This one's pretty low comparatively, 2650, 3100 again. So yeah, you're seeing big moves in Evolving Skies as well, right? So this snowball, I feel like the rocket ship is being fueled still, and we're still about to blast off with this market. It is getting absolutely insane. So with Prismatic doing what it's been doing, it's fueling Evolving, and Evolving is hitting highs, and then it's like a back and forth, and then Prismatic's gonna continue to hit highs, and these pull rates, these brutal pull rates. We have a little bit of the breakdown. We'll talk about that coming up, but like even the booster boxes just took another leg up. Last solds on booster boxes for Evolving Skies, 1,400, 1,400, 1,400. And I'm rounding up on these 1380s, right, and 1370s, I understand. All 1,400 sales. So the box is up to 1,400. Lowest listed for a full booster box is 1,500, 1,495. There are 127 boxes on TCG Player, but Evolving Skies is continuing to run. The 1-year chart obviously going to look insane. 167% growth. A year ago, the box was a $400 or $500 box. I remember last year picking up at a Collecticon, picking up an Evolving Skies box for one of my buddies, and I told myself, man, I should be picking up these boxes. But I was even hesitant, and that was actually around here. It was around the 700 mark, right? And they did cool off. They came back down, and now obviously on an insane run. So these sets, it really is, unfortunately, it really is turning out to be Evolving Skies 2.0. Like I said, the pull rates are matching up. The hype possibly exceeding Evolving Skies or matching it, because what we're seeing is kind of unprecedented in the hobby right now, as far as like just the bullishness of everything. Just to go back to the pull rates again. So this is from TCG Player, over 8,000 packs that they pulled for any alt art, right? So this is what you have to understand when you do the math. Alt arts and SIRs are different, right? Alt arts were a lot more difficult to pull. SIRs are easier to pull. SIRs were a little closer to this number currently, right? So you have any specific alt art from the set, 1 out of 332 packs. When you do the math, you times that by the number of alt arts in the set, this number, you get just under 2,000 packs, right? Which is essentially what we're seeing from Prismatic. And that has been confirmed from the recent openings, okay? I will say we need more data, okay? There does need to be more data out there to confirm this. Like I said, this is 8,000 packs. This is a lot. There will be creators like Danny Fantup usually opens a ton of packs and releases his pull rate data, so that will be very helpful. If he opens that much, you have to understand that a lot of people are not going to be opening because of these prices, myself included. I was originally going to rip some Prismatic, but now with just where things are at, I'm not ripping any. And so this is what we compared to. This was the last specialty set, Paldean Fates. And when I was talking about the pull rates, what I had seen was between 150 to 160 for any SIR, right? And that's what we saw with Paldean for TCG player. Out of 1,500 packs, you got 1 out of 58 for any SIR. Now you multiply that out for specific SIR from this set. I'm just talking about this set. It's 1 out of 465 packs. Because of the amount of SIRs, when you do the math, you come out with a number that's at like 1,900 something, just below 2,000 packs, which matches up with that Evolving Skies. So, and I had somebody saying, that's not how the math works. That's not how the math works. That's how the math works. This is, TCG players been putting this out every set forever. This is how the math works. Okay, so that part, it is what it is. The pull rates are what they are. Now, if you want to blame some of the reasoning for why they are, that's totally fine. But it looks like this is the reality. And we do, pull it back just for a second. We do need more information. I do want to see more pull rate data. But the initial of what we have of not just one Whatnot streamer, not just 2 Whatnot streamers, we have, you think PokeRev and Cool Trainer Ryan are opening product that is not legit, that is not legitimate? I don't think so. So, there's that to consider. So we have a much better look. And once again, bringing it back to Evolving Skies, look at what Evolving Skies is doing. Look at the Umbreon V. This was supposed to be the lesser Moonbreon that wasn't really a big deal. I mean, PokeRev talked this up a while ago when it ran, but we're seeing this card in the 200s now. Lowest listed right here is 240 for a raw copy and a PSA 9 copy. TCG's bugging out. It's not showing the last solds right here, but there is a 500 recent sale, but I think that maybe that was a PSA 10. But 15 copies available. Once again, so we're seeing low quantities of these cards. Zoom out to the 1 year, and you were seeing, this is when the card ran up when PokeRev talked about it last time. It went up to about $200, came back down to 140, and now we're seeing it surpass 200 again for the Umbreon. So, I mean, it's just evolutions left and evolutions right. We got the Leafeon shooting up. 19 copies available. Once again, just a few. You look at last solds aren't really working for me. They gotta fix that. Sometimes the last solds pop up like perfect, sometimes they don't. But we can see last sold right here is 370. We see market is 330. 28% growth in the past 3 months. Went from 250 to 330. Lowest listed is 370. So this card's, and you get a few sales down and you're at 400. So you got the Leafeon creeping up to 400, which if you look at the 1 year chart, that's going to blow past this previous high that we saw last year. You got the Sylveon starting to move. Now, albeit a little bit of a downturn right here. Nothing crazy from 260 to 250, but it's up 32%. Right? Another alternate art from Evolving Skies. 32% growth. And the 1 year chart, 93%. So it was up here at 270. It's almost back to that high. You got the Espeon from Fusion Strike, right? So the reason I'm bringing up all these cards is I feel like they are pinging off of each other in a little vortex. It's going evolving prismatic, evolving prismatic, evolving prismatic, just like, and it's like this big tornado that's about to blow up, or maybe like a fiery tornado. Maybe that's a better analogy. But we have the Espeon taken off. It was 3 months ago. It was 180. Now we're seeing 240. There are more copies of this one available. 44. It is not actually in Evolving Skies. It's in Fusion Strike, so maybe that's playing a little bit of a factor. I mean, Fusion Strike performing really well as a set. Also, we got a ways to go for this card. It was 340 in the Alt Art Boom, so a ways to go to catch up to that. Lowest listed is 250, which is pretty much at market price. So tailoring it back to Prismatic, we got stuff should be shipping. You got your PC ETBs should be shipping. Your Pokemon Center, a lot of pre-orders are shipping. I had some Walmart stuff that shipped. Some GameStop stuff should start shipping, right? So a lot of this product should start coming in. So we'll get an even clearer picture. But PC ETBs are selling. It looks like they might have solidified around 400 for the most part on TCG Player. On eBay, that yes, they are in the 200s. Okay, so that you got to understand that. And we'll see if the last solds are working on here. Thankfully, just down the board 400 with some 390s at the bottom. So those were pretty much all the last solds, and that's all that's available right now. Once again, keep in mind, if so you know, for the pre-sale on TCG Player, only brick and mortar stores can list product. So come release day, the 17th, there should be more of these available, and they'll start undercutting each other probably on pricing for that. So brick and mortars are the only ones that are allowed to sell pre-sale. Okay. Once we hit January 17th, that will change. Now, we also have the regular ETBs around 150. Once again, we're seeing a little bit lower price on eBay, but these are the brick and mortars, pretty consistent 150s down the board right here. Look at these sales, 150 all day long, and lowest listeds back that up. So let's bring it back full circle to this week. The product is coming out this week, and it's something I've said it before. We'll touch on it again. Pokemon Center should be restocking Friday with the Journey Together stuff. The previous time for Stellar and Surging was 10 a.m. Eastern. That's when they restocked on the Pokemon Center. But then Journey Together did it early. They did it at I'm West Coast, so the times are always off for me. But then they did it at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, which is 5:30 a.m. Pacific, right? So that may be off. Okay, you have to understand that these the times. This is my approach. I'm West Coast. If you want to have a chance on the Pokemon Center, I'm gonna be up at 4 a.m. and I'm just gonna be ready. Okay. Yes, you will get pinged if you have PokeNotify. They will ping you when it goes live. I'm gonna be already on the website, potentially ready. They could drop it early. They could wait till 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and they could do it like the other sets. I don't know. They might try and throw a curveball. I'm not sure. But that is your best chance as far as Pokemon Center goes. Now, when it comes to Walmart and Target, I said this before, but once again, just trying to get the information out there. MJ Holdings is a company that stocks Walmart and Target. It is not Walmart and Target that stocks them. Sometimes they put out the product early. Okay, we've seen it before with other sets. I saw it with Stellar and Surging in my town. It was like on Wednesday. Okay, and I've seen it even earlier. It does depend. I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but starting today, check your Walmarts, check your Targets, check that restock day. Sometimes a lot of times I've seen it seems like, oh, it's Thursday restock, and they do it on a Thursday too. So it varies by area, but that's what you're looking at. You're gonna check your big box stores, right? They're gonna get product. Get out there early. That's your best chance. MSRP is the play. As far as opening the product, like I said, if you guys want to open it, that's all and great. I don't blame you. If you want to sell it and make a profit, I don't blame you. That's all and great. I'm not opening the product. I'm not selling it right now. I would be waiting. I'm holding off, right? We are seeing, as far as the TCG Player side for the PC ETBs, 400 would be pretty much like kind of the highest we've seen for a PC ETB, but we have seen 151 hold very strong in the 300 range for a while now as far as that goes. So we'll see how much that price comes down off of 400 moving forward. Also, it'd be very, very interesting to track singles prices. Specifically, I'm talking Umbreon, Espeon, all of the evolutions in raw and PSA 10 pricing. I will be covering that when we have more info and actual sales, actual confirmed cards in hand, cards shipped situation. So we'll touch on that on the channel. If you guys are this far in the video and you're not already subscribed, obviously enjoyed the content enough to watch me talk about it for almost 20 minutes now. So if you do me a favor, do yourself a favor, go down below, hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation. I do know I was getting a lot of comments of people kind of leaving the hobby, this being depressing, and like I totally get that, and I feel bad. The people that it's really hurting are the ultra casual side that don't even know about this, and they just want to get some packs for their kids or just some packs for themselves to open, and things are like absolutely brutal out there. So I do really feel bad for that. Like it can be really rough. It can be really rough. So it's unfortunate, like the scenario in which it is in. It will not be forever. Okay. This will not last forever. However, it does seem like it's not slowing down anytime soon. So, maybe later in the year, that's a different conversation. We can revisit that. But for now, the rocket ship is primed and ready to blast off. And yeah, I mean, looking down the road too, I think with Team Rocket, it's going to get even wilder potentially. So it's just something to keep an eye on is Team Rocket set. I'm really excited for that one. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I really appreciate everyone watching. You guys have been absolute legends. End gang, I'll see you guys in the comments. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.